going to show you is a few of my Disney pins. Some of the pins I'm going to show you are Disney parks related. Some of them were bought in Universal when we were there because first time to Florida, we decided that we were going to do 2 days in the parks, 2 days in Disney World, sorry, 2 days in Universal, and then we did 1 day in Disney Springs. And then the other 2 days we're driving because we live quite a distance from Disney World. Okay, so one of the first, to begin with, I'm going to go through my pins. All these pins either mean something to me or are just my favorite attractions, and I'll explain why I have them to begin with, which is why my collection is not the biggest. They're usually all on this pin board. The ones that are still left on there are ones that were either mystery pin boxes that we unboxed in the parks. Some of them are my fiance's Star Wars collection, and some are just random ones I picked up through Orlando. Alright, so the first pin I'm going to show you is the first one I actually got in the Disney parks. We went in January as a reward for me graduating nursing school in December. So the first pin I bought when I got to the parks, I don't know if it's going to focus, if you can even see it, but we're going to try. That is my nurse mini pin. Because, well, that's what I do. I'm a nurse. And it's just one of the first pins my fiance bought me when we got to this. Alright, so as I was saying, this is my Mickey and Minnie wedding pin. We're getting married in October, and when we first went to the Disney parks, I had all my pins on a backpack with me. Newbie didn't realize that the Mickey head pin backs do not hold real well. Well, I searched all through eBay until I found a Mickey and Minnie wedding pin that I wanted more than anything. It was this little diamond ring one. Mickey and Minnie were sitting in the middle of the diamond ring. Well, I finally found it. I ordered it. It got to my house. We went on one of the attractions at Disney World. I want to say it was in the Silly Sideshow. It was like the small little goofy roller coaster in the Silly Sideshow at Magic Kingdom. The pin was on my backpack when I got onto the ride, and then it was gone by the time we got off. The super nice pin. So Zach bought me the Mickey and Minnie, this Mickey and Minnie one in the parks as a replacement for my one that got ruined or lost. So that's why I have this pin. I'm hoping one day to find my Mickey and Minnie ring one somewhere and replace it with that one as well. This one was bought in the parks as well. It's easy to figure out why. I absolutely love Cinderella's castle. I have so many pictures from this one time there in front of that castle. It's got a cool spinning. There's that one. Alright, this is one of my favorite pins that was bought in the parks. This is my alien in front of the Happily Ever After fireworks. I have had a small obsession with Toy Story since I was little. Me and my brother watched those movies to death. Well, I found this one in the park, and I also have the matching t-shirt because I absolutely love the little aliens sitting in front of the castle with the fireworks going off in the background. This is my favorite pin just because it has so many things from Disney World I absolutely love. Alright, this one is my Fun Tower of Terror pin. Now, when we went to Disney World, I was trying to explain to Zach, which is my fiance, that I absolutely hate heights. They terrify me. And I also absolutely hate rides that go up and down and then drop you. Well, he didn't tell me what Tower of Terror was when I went to go get on it. I found out after I got onto the ride what Tower of Terror was. I bought this pin when I got off the ride just as a souvenir that, hey, I made it through it, because roller coasters are really not my thing. Like, at all. and neither are anything that's going to drop me from very high places. But this is the pin that I chose when I got off the ride. It's really cool because there's Mickey and Minnie in there, and then it also expands to have Stitch chewing on the cord, and then they're dropped. This is one of my favorite pins in my collection, and Tower of Terror is also now one of my favorite rides. So I guess it was good he scared me on that ride. Alright. This is my mini Merida. Merida is my favorite Disney princess because, well, not only do I think she's a little badass, she also happens to be Scottish, and a very large portion of my family is Scottish, and the other half of my family is a very large portion Irish. So just the red everywhere hair and the attitude it reminds me of a whole lot of my family and a whole lot of us. But Merida's my favorite princess, and that makes why she is the only princess pin that I currently have on my pin boards. Next pin I have is this cool Haunted Mansion one. This was one of the rides I was most excited to go on. Like I said, a lot of these pins were purchased because they were things that I did in the park. Because this was my first trip, I bought a Haunted Mansion pin because that was one of the rides that I first went on. This pin, though, I've had it since January. I did not find out until I went to go put it on my backpack for my trip to Sleeping Bear, like I said, that it opens. Yeah, I actually found that out from a YouTube video I was watching. I didn't know that pin opened to show the bride from the inside. So I actually found that out about a month ago, and I was super excited. I ran through my house to find this pin to prove that it opened. But yeah, that's my bride and groom pin. The next one I have is my Winnie the Pooh pin. Winnie the Pooh has been one of my favorite characters since I was little. When we went to the parks, the first thing I did was go to the character breakfast at the Crystal Palace because I had to meet Tigger. He is one of my favorite people, and I had to meet him. But this pin has usually a cool sliding element on it, but Pooh Bear is currently stuck, and probably due to, once again, sand, because this is one of my favorite pins and it was on a backpack, and I'm pretty sure the sand just got crudted up in there, so I have to take a Q-tip and figure out how to clean out the inside of these pins so they continue to move. But that's my Winnie the Pooh pin. And then these next three pins are not Disney World pins, they are Universal, because that was the other place we went on our trip. And I got three of them because they are some of my favorite movies or favorite characters from the Universal parks. The first one is this really cool chocolate frog pin. I love Harry Potter, like always have. And this one is cool because it opens up to show a little chocolate frog on the inside, and it also smells like chocolate. Like, we've had them since January, and they still smell like chocolate. Some people think that's cool. My fiance thinks that's gross. Either way, I think it's pretty cool. So that's one of my non-Disney pins. And then I also have the Revenge of the Mummy, because The Mummy is another one of those movies that I have watched on a continual basis. It's another one that I can tell you word for word everything about it. I had to buy a pin for this one as well, because this was another one of, I knew it was a roller coaster. I don't know why it surprised me going in there, but it was terrifying. And it was terrifying, but I also absolutely loved it. So, you win-win. It's one of my favorite rides at Universal. So, that's why I have that pin. And then my next little pin is the last Universal one I have. This one is Betty Boop, because I have loved Betty Boop since I was a small child. I have the cartoons on DVD. I have a few Betty Boop plushes around my house, but most of them have been replaced by Disney in the last few months. But yeah. So that's that. If anybody actually watches this video or is interested, I'll be posting another one either later tonight or tomorrow. That'll be the full tour of the Mickey and Minnie living room I have. The problem is the rain and thunder is so loud right now, it's going to do me absolutely no good to do it now. So I'm going to wait until it stops storming and hopefully quiets down a little bit in my house, and then we'll try again. Like I said, if you're interested in my videos, feel free to like and subscribe. It's Disney Nurse Life. And, well, thanks for watching.